Tonight we explore a story of steel, water, and ambition, one that could reshape global trade. Deep in Central America, the Nicaragua Canal is taking shape, backed by Chinese investment. Its goal, to connect the Atlantic and Pacific, challenging the Panama Canal's dominance. The largest ships, too big for Panama, could soon slice through the Americas. This project is a symbol of China's growing global influence. For Nicaragua, it promises jobs and transformation, but also raises concerns. The world's eyes are on Nicaragua. Will this bold vision become reality? Throughout history, canals like Suez and Panama have transformed trade, power, and global maps. These engineering marvels shaped nations and dictated shipping routes for over a century. Now, the Nicaragua Canal, China's bold answer, could redraw the world's economic map once again. The next great waterway may be about to make history. Why is China so invested in a canal halfway around the world? It's about securing its economic future. As the world's largest exporter, China needs reliable, cost-effective shipping routes. Any disruption, political or logistical, threatens its prosperity. The Nicaragua Canal is a key piece of China's Belt and Road Initiative, a global infrastructure push to bind economies closer to Beijing. This canal would be the Belt and Road's flagship in the Western Hemisphere, giving China a foothold in a region long dominated by the U.S. Much of China's trade with the U.S. East Coast and Europe passes through the Panama Canal, a choke point under American influence. A new canal, financed and operated by a Chinese-led consortium, offers an alternative and more leverage for Chinese shipping. For China, the $50 billion price tag is a strategic investment in its global position. The canal would also ease the flow of Latin American resources, oil, soybeans, back to China. It's about more than avoiding Panama's congestion. It's about securing supply chains and expanding influence. As one Chinese official put it, we must secure our own pathways to global markets. The Nicaragua Canal is a physical symbol of China's 21st century ambitions. It's a move that's both economic and deeply strategic. The world is watching as China redraws the map of global trade. The stakes are enormous. This is China's boldest play yet in the Americas. What exactly is being built? The Nicaragua Grand Canal is a colossal undertaking. The route spans 173 miles, over 3 times longer than the Panama Canal, and is designed for the world's largest ships. Managed by the Hong Kong Nicaragua Canal Development Investment Company, the project includes not just the canal, but deep water ports, a free trade zone, an airport, and tourism developments. The 2013 agreement gives the company a 50-year concession, with an option for another 50. The canal starts at the Brito River on the Pacific, crosses Lake Nicaragua, and exits to the Caribbean. After years of delays, recent satellite images show real progress at both endpoints. President Ortega calls it a second independence for Nicaragua, economic independence. The $50 billion price tag has raised skepticism, but funding is reportedly secured from a global consortium, with Chinese interests leading. The project's scale is unprecedented for Nicaragua. The canal is more than a waterway. It's an entire economic ecosystem in the making. The stakes are high and the risks are real. The world is watching to see if this blueprint becomes reality. The first phase, major port and dredging operations, is underway. The next few years will be critical. Success could transform Nicaragua's future. The world's newest trade artery is taking shape. Building the Nicaragua Canal is an engineering challenge of epic proportions. 5 billion cubic meters of earth must be moved, enough to bury Manhattan under hundreds of feet of dirt. The project requires a massive fleet of excavators, dredgers, and trucks operating around the clock. Lake Nicaragua, the largest freshwater lake in Central America, is at the heart of the route. Dredging a deep channel across the lake raises serious environmental concerns, especially about saltwater contamination. Engineers plan to use enormous locks, even larger than Panama's, to lift ships up to the lake and back down. The region's geology is tricky. Earthquakes, hurricanes, and unstable soils all pose risks. The canal must be built to withstand powerful natural forces. Dr. Paul Sanchez, an infrastructure expert, says, "The engineering is ambitious, but possible. The real challenge is flawless execution. A single failure, like a saltwater breach, could be disastrous. The margin for error is zero. Project management will be as crucial as engineering skill. The world's eyes are on Nicaragua's engineers. Success would be a modern marvel. Failure could be catastrophic. The stakes couldn't be higher." The Nicaragua Canal isn't just an engineering feat, it's a geopolitical game changer. For over a century, the Panama Canal symbolized American influence in the region. Now a Chinese-backed canal challenges that dominance in the US's own backyard. Washington is wary, seeing the project as part of China's broader push for global influence. A Chinese-operated canal could one day support military as well as commercial interests. For Nicaragua, the canal is a path to prosperity and independence from US influence. Neighboring countries are cautious, wary of being caught between two superpowers. The canal could bring economic benefits, but also instability if it becomes a flashpoint. The US has responded by strengthening ties with other regional partners, trying to counterbalance China. The project is forcing Latin American nations to rethink alliances and strategies. The canal accelerates a new great game in Central America. Diplomatic influence, investment, and strategic positioning are all at stake. The ripples extend far beyond Nicaragua. The world order in the Americas is shifting. The outcome will shape regional power for decades. The stakes are global. If completed, the Nicaragua Canal will send shockwaves through the global economy. The shipping industry would see fierce competition, lower fees, more choices, and new routes for the largest ships. Companies operating supersized vessels would be big winners, saving millions per voyage. For Nicaragua, the government predicts a doubling of GDP and hundreds of thousands of new jobs. But the risks are real. The country's economic fate will be tied to a foreign-led project for a century. If profits fall short, social unrest could follow. Panama stands to lose the most. Its near monopoly on transoceanic shipping would end, threatening a key pillar of its economy. Even after expanding its canal, Panama can't match Nicaragua's proposed scale. The competition could force Panama to cut prices and lose market share. Globally, trade flows could shift, with U.S. East and Gulf Coast ports gaining traffic from Asia. West Coast ports may lose their edge. Lower shipping costs could affect consumer prices worldwide. The canal is a massive new artery in the global trade network. Its effects will be complex and far-reaching. Winners and losers will emerge across continents. The world's economic map is about to change. Beyond economics and politics, the canal's most immediate impact is on people and the environment. The route cuts through rural and indigenous communities, forests and wetlands. Tens of thousands face displacement, including the Rama Creole people. Protests and legal challenges have erupted over inadequate compensation and lack of consultation. Lake Nicaragua, a unique ecosystem home to rare species, is at risk from dredging, ship traffic, and potential spills. Blasting through hills and forests threatens wildlife and disrupts migration corridors. The government and HKND promise environmental safeguards and reforestation, but critics remain skeptical. Many argue the project's scale makes significant damage unavoidable. Transparency in environmental studies is lacking, fueling distrust. The dilemma is stark economic development versus environmental and cultural preservation. For many Nicaraguans, the canal is a deeply personal issue. Hope for a better future versus love for their land. The true cost will be measured in more than dollars. Communities and ecosystems are at stake. The world must weigh progress against preservation. The canal's legacy will be written in the lives it changes. The stakes are human and environmental, not just economic. As we close, imagine a world with two great canals linking the Atlantic and Pacific. The Nicaragua Canal is more than a rival to Panama. It's a catalyst for global change. If completed, it will create new routes, opportunities, and political realities. The era of a single dominant waterway will end. Competition and choice will define the future. Success is not guaranteed. Financial, engineering, and political hurdles remain. But progress on the ground in 2026 keeps the dream alive. The implications are profound. U.S. strategy, global trade patterns, and environmental impacts all hang in the balance. This story is still being written, with chapters defined by earth moved, dollars spent, and diplomatic negotiations. The outcome will shape the 21st century in ways we're only beginning to grasp. The Nicaragua Canal is a testament to ambition and a test of responsibility. The world is watching decisions made in Managua, Beijing, and Washington. These choices will affect economies, security, and the planet's health for decades. Stay informed and engaged as this story unfolds. The map of the world is never truly finished. The next chapter in global trade is being written now. The future is wide open.